mean, the hero it can go other ways. They have pretty low armor heroes, I feel like, on the IG side, at least at the start of the game. Maybe he'll go... Oh, it looks like he's queuing up a Witchblade this game. Or not a Witchblade, a Mage Slayer. So he's going to go the classic Mage Slayer build. Thank you, Nisha, for showing us your item build at the very start of the game. But this is... It's still good. It's just the duration's not long. It's 3 seconds instead of 6. But if he does get in there and he puts a little slap on Zeus's butt, the damage output is going to be a lot less. If he hits Clockwork, if he hits Techies, if he hits Kunkka, it's going to be a lot of damage mitigation. And he, frankly, is going to be a little bit hard to kill once he gets Mage Slayer and maybe like one more armor item. Then he doesn't have to worry about Clinks as much. So I kind of like what he's doing. He's trying to initiate and he's trying to mitigate damage for his team and he's trying to be tanky. So he does fulfill those things, frankly.
Let's see. Looking forward to seeing this. I just had a quick look as well, sort of like the win rate of Ember and Dota 2 Pro Tracker recently. It's like 49.7%. So it's not terrible, but it's, you know, the pros, none of the pros are sort of winning game after game with this hero right now. But to be fair, there was a fair few pub games, though, where some high-tier mids, you know, top-level pro mids have been trying him. So definitely something about him that people are trying to see if they can make work. But success has not been clear yet with this hero.
It's the cosmetics. He's got really good cosmetics. That's true. You gotta play him once in a while if you spend money on the cosmetics. I just imagine there's a lot of mid heroes that kind of beat him up right now. Is part of the problem too. That's usually what kind of happens in the meta, where some hero has like an okay win rate, but it has to be like the right game for you to pick him, and those games don't really turn up all the time. So I think it'll be fine against Zeus. The Flame Guard will certainly be nice to reduce some of the magic damage, and he just wants to jump.
Looking at some of these side lanes. Down bottom, we've got Xnova supporting up Monet on the carry Clinks. Up against Boxy's Hoodwink and 33's Doom. Top lane, we've got Insania on the support Anch backing up Mickey against JT's offlane Kunkka and Baboka's Techies. I mean, these side lanes feel like things that we've been seeing a lot. Nothing too crazy, of course, in terms of setup. Any of these sort of duos you like in particular that you feel can do especially well in the laning stage?
Yeah, the Techies plus Kunkka looks pretty threatening for sure. If it wasn't an Enchantress with heal, I'd be a lot more worried for the support here. So this is kind of a great solution in terms of what they're up against. I don't necessarily see them getting response kills until we get creeps coming into this, but Insania so far just bodying really, really well for Mickey. On the other side of the map, I'm a little bit worried for Clinks in the early game, but he will eventually start getting some levels. I just expect that 3-3 is going to free farm for a while here. But maybe if Clockwork gets on top of him, Clockwork historically is a great support against Doom because he limits your rundown and he does lots of magic damage, which just cuts through his quite high armor. So there's kill potential certainly on both sides, especially if people make positioning mistakes.
We'll see. Xnova bouncing around the tree line here, but he's going to get quite caught by the two of them. At the moment, the CS in the mid lane, 13 for 1 against Nisha. He's got 10 and 1, but he's going to be able to clean up these two creeps. So very even so far on the mid. He's got the 2 points in Flame Guard now, so indeed Nisha should be able to push the wave out and sustain against some of the spam from Nothing to Say. There's Nothing to Say tries to clear the waves out himself.
Yeah, I don't really see too many kill potentials on the mid lane. Unless, I mean, if people rotate, if a clock gets him pre-6 or something, maybe there's an opportunity. But these sidelines are just so important. Like, I would be really, really scared to leave Monet alone as the Clinks versus these two heroes because him getting run down is so possible. And in fact, they're going on him right now. Just a little poke.
In terms of regen, what are we down to? Okay, so Xnova still has a salve on him, but Monet himself just down to this last shared tango.
Oh, he baited the tree.
Oh my goodness,
like, this is my tree to eat, and Boxy wanted to go eat it himself.
Yeah, Boxy was about one hit away from dying on that. He himself is very prepared with the regen, and yeah, 33's. He's having a great time. He's got 14-1 charges, and he's just about got the money to get that Helm of Iron Will sent out. And at that point, he's going to be feeling pretty strong in that lane. Should be easy farm for the offlane Doom this game.
Yeah, he'll be really happy with that. Lots of armor against the Clinks. Doesn't have to worry as much about the harass. That part of the game is basically just over against him. And with his mana burn creep, he's just limiting the mana that his opponents get to play with here for good reason. There's already a Null Talisman on Monet. They've got a nice wand. Here's some harass potential. Now they're just going for last hits. Let's see who gets him.
And neither side having anyone getting completely zoned out of this laning stage. Everybody's able to get the farm that they need. Nobody's suffering too heavily. On top. They're going to maybe see if they can try and get this set up onto Mickey. And nice Lucent Beam will stop the initial torrent hitting from the combo. And that will actually save him there. I think if that torrent stun would have been there, they would have got the kill. And now Mickey and Sania, see if they can go for the turnaround to chase down JT. They were the chase of the Warpine Raider as well. A lot of damage. But they won't quite have it. I mean, he's going to have another siege shot in a second on the Warpine Raider, but won't be enough. Still good trade there from Insania to run JT back out of the lane and ensure that Mickey does continue to sit pretty safe here up top.
Things look fine for Liquid to me. I mean, with the Ember Spirit doing good, I think his, or at least doing average, his gold transition will allow them to create space. Is what I'm expecting here. But 3-3 getting pressured finally. Ooh.
On top. Trying for JT again. He's got the salve at the ready, he's fine. I mean, this bottom lane rotation, like Nisha knows, just go for the bounty rune. Doesn't want to spend time going down here. Probably feels that he doesn't need to because mid lane is going very nicely for him. Continue to get complete free farm. We'll soon be hitting the 6. And at that point, can look to maybe even go for some dive plays, especially if they bring in a +1. We'll see if that comes in around the 6-minute power rune.
Yeah, that could be a little spooky here. Zeus is definitely kind of fragile at the moment. Doesn't have too many survivability items, just relies on heavily jump, really. So if they can gap close and go for some disable follow-up, it could be huge. Especially with a creep coming in, that kind of thing. Yeah, and in fact, that's what's happening bottom.
Yeah, lovely little rotation here from Insania, which should finally get the first blood on the board. Will be for Liquid. Boxy have to get the last touch on that. And Insania making some nice moves here with the Enchantress. We already saw how much he was doing in terms of just keeping the pressure on JT top, ensuring that JT was never really in a position to go on to Mickey. And now with that rotation, getting first blood for the team. So some good stuff here on the Enchantress to start things.
Did you see 3-3 finish his Veil before Boots here? Just wants to amplify as much damage as possible. I mean, finishing this item is huge, really. It's a 10% damage increase at this phase of the game. That's really valuable in these early fights, so just getting better and better for Doom.
Yeah, I mean, it's just super unappealing, really, to go on him. It's not really going to be many opportunities now for Xnova and Mono to threaten 33 at all.
Except for right here.
Wait, when he gets stuck on the ground. Okay, let's see if they can get him. See, he's going to have Boxy with the help. Is it enough damage? Okay, with the Zeus, it will be. There we go. Nothing to say, able to come in with a finishing blow as he drops the ultimate. So with that, they certainly can go on the Doom. They'll be able to take 33 out the lane and G2.iG get themselves their first kill on the board.
That is the downside of being greedy, basically. When he pulls the enemy creep wave to a large camp like that, it's perfect vision, you know. Quite top, though.
Oh, yeah, indeed. They try and turn onto Insania, but he's already got the heals pumping out. Baboka. Oh, is this siege shot going to be there in time before this creep dies? 1 second. I couldn't get it off. Couldn't get in time. Baboka's able to escape. Only just, though. He will get out of that. Maybe eyes now over towards the mid-sea where Insania wants to go. He's going to be able to grab a Hellbear Smasher next.
I just want to say, great rotation from nothing to say to press his ultimate. It's very effective getting that Doom kill on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, this is the dream for Zeus. You know, you don't leave your lane, keep farming, and then your ganking is pressing R. See around the mid, the action's going to actually come over towards him. Trying to look for the setup here over towards Xnova. He gets the cogs down. Hellbear Smasher considering making its way over, but Xnova already back up and has that regen rune, so he's going to be able to get back up to full HP as both teams try and clash around the power rune. But indeed, Xnova grabbing it. It's not going to go the way of Nisha or nothing to say.
And this regen rune change really does change that rune so much. It's like it's like I just can't die in a fight, and sometimes it's just subtle. You know, the regen's low enough that I sometimes don't notice it while I'm fighting a guy, and I'm like, why is he committing to this fight? This is really bad. Then I realize I'm like, oh, all this damage I'm doing is worth it. It's a huge bummer. Great game top here.
Going to be able to take down Mickey. It should give them the opportunity to try and take this tier 1 tower as well if they want to put the pressure on. At the same time, Liquid, they're looking to apply the pressure down bottom.
It looks like IG's going to try to defend it, though. Monet rotates back.
See if they can take the fight here. Nisha. Got the chain set up. I mean, TPs are coming in. Can they save Monet? They cannot. Monet's gone. 33 will drop the Doom down onto JT to avoid potential combo being dropped in upon him. Xnova dropping the cogs again. Keep the distance. Zuso out. It's enough. Take 33 out in return. Get the 1-for-1. JT maybe consider if you get any sort of further setup, but Xmark's not quite back up, so Insania's going to have the freedom to escape. So just get the 1-for-1, and yeah, G2.iG able to maintain control of this tier 1 tower.
A little surprised that Monet went there to defend it, but his team backed him up really effectively. Sucks for him that he died, but you know, defending the tier 1's pretty important. If they kill that tower and start invading the enemy jungle using the Enchantress and the Hoodwink and the Doom, like the pressure is just a lot scarier, and it makes it much easier to rotate into mid lane to kill Zeus. So Zeus continues playing the game that he wants, which is trying to look for runes and then zapping people. His flak tree is almost done as well, so a single target damage is going to be a lot better in a moment.
Let's see if G2.iG have a bit of a better job themselves taking the tier 1. Nisha hovering around the area, has got this haste rune in the bottle ready to go. They're able to kick off a fight. Just trying to do his best to stay in this position, make sure it's hard for G2.iG to really enter across the jungle of Liquid and find their way to Mickey. So Mickey's getting some space on the top.
Gank opportunity bottom, maybe.
Mono's got his eyes on him.
For boxing, but he can't. There's a sentry there, so he didn't see him.
They get the hook shot, but slightly off the mark there from Xnova. Right, get the connection. Boxy's fine.
It's really close. Nice escape by Boxy. I noticed the Clinks is going to go Maelstrom this game. A little non-standard here. Maelstrom with Shard, but that's probably why. The Maelstrom with, what's it called, Strafe or whatever? That shit was really good. You farm so quickly with all the lightning procs, so it's just a way to really accelerate his farm. He wants to go super late game because he wants to try to be competitive with Luna.
A lot of focus around the mid again here. Nisha, look for the setup. They've got the follow-up combo here from Boxy. It's not enough to burst Xnova all the way though. Xnova able to walk away and has nothing to say by his side. Zuso popped. He'll keep them low and dissuade Liquid from trying to push in for more. JT seeing if he could get a potential grab with the X-Mark, but Liquid back under the tier 1 tower. Nisha sticking around. He's going to allow himself to get X-Marked. He's got the Flame Guard out though with the Remnant defensively placed. He'll be able to jump back to safety. Probably not going to be able to defend his tower. They've got the fortification. Further TPs to be coming in as Insania returns to the mid area as well. It's a pretty heavy push coming in with the presence of Monet on the Clinks. And this tier 1 tower's gone. As G2.iG starting to get some good objectives here. Taking that tier 1 mid out in a game where Liquid themselves, they've yet been able to take any of the tier 1s. So first tower here for G2.iG.
Yeah, it's just too hard to defend against all the Clink skeletons. Between the 2 Skellies from his ulti and the 1 from his 3rd skill, it's just a lot of damage to go through. And they have so much poke between him and the Zeus and the threat of the Kunkka X combo that none of the heroes on Liquid can really approach except for Nisha there. And if Nisha uses Flame Guard and it's now on cooldown, like he's just way too vulnerable as a whole. So it was a good attempt to try to hold things off, but that's the value of the Clinks. He just makes those towers die so easily.
Good rotation from Monet. Staying active, staying involved at the same time. Keeping on par with the farm that Mickey has right now. Both him and Mickey. It's just less than 100 gold between them right now. It's very close. Very close across the board, really. But G2.iG, they're going to continue their advantage. They look to push another tier 1 tower. It's being a little bit more proactive than Liquid right now. Liquid kind of settling things down on their side. They don't seem to have as much of an interest as trying to force these early towers. As G2.iG starting to get away with quite a bit.
They definitely want to, but we just saw one of the negatives about it, about the Clinks. He just eats the Enchantress creep. So even if they do want to take a tower, if he just shows up and eats the creep, it's just kind of done.
I mean, and then that mid lane move there, Liquid quite heavy-handed with their attempt to just sort of run at the Zeus. Nothing to say is perfectly fine. Backup comes in. They drop the combo onto Boxy. Oh, that was cute. Nice little move there for 33 to try and save Boxy. But he may have just ended up putting them both sort of in a spot of bother. Having to save Boxy meant there was no way to save himself. They end up both dying. I mean, they paid the price there for that failed gank around that mid-tier 1 very heavily, Liquid.
It's tough. Very difficult for them to catch the Zeus before he gets the leap off, and then all of a sudden they're just overextended without a tier 1 tower. If they had a tier 1 tower, maybe there's a hope that their teammates TP in to cover them, but like because that tower is gone, they lose that potential. So just a little bit rough with that attempt missing.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I think this is a tough game. The numbers aren't too crazy. You know, it's just a 2K lead right now for G2.iG. But I feel like when you've come into a draft and you've trying a hero like the Ember Spirit this game that Liquid wanted to finish their lineup with, when the start's not going great, this hero already, when it was not nerfed, it was always hard to kind of, you know, stage your comeback, start to get things going back in your direction. I feel like now it's just even harder. Like it's just a super tough game for Nisha on Ember right now.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. But at least he's got his Mage Slayer finished, so his ability to frontline is still going to be really high. His armor isn't the worst, so dealing with Clinks isn't going to be the worst for him either. He just needs to continue to be the person in the front of his lineup to ensure that they can just protect from initiations or X combos on anybody else. And if he does that, then they should have potential to turn fights. Boxy, I love his starting item, just the Vid booster, going for the old Rod of Atos, but wants the survivability as fast as possible. In fact, they're finally going to maybe get a kill here.
Yeah, this should be a clean one. They'll catch Xnova alone. They could be able to get a kill. And now should be able to get this tier 1. We saw obviously earlier G2.iG go for the defense. They do have the fortification, but with no Clockwork alive, they probably won't waste any resources on trying to hold this one. So they'll let Liquid have this. Over in the mid, Nisha trying to tease around with Baboka. JT and Monet are around though, so Nisha's got to be a bit careful. We'll get another Remnant out, make sure that he's not in range of JT being able to get an X mark on him.
I love it when they go on you when you have an Arcane Rune. You're like, yeah, whatever. My stuff will come back, no big deal. He's buying a Ogre Club here. Is that going to be the BKB, fast BKB after Mage Slayer?
I imagine so, yeah, because he did originally have the Maelstrom queued up after the Mage Slayer, which is, I guess, sort of the build that you want to be able to do. But with the way that this game's going, maybe feeling pressured to indeed get something a bit more defensive. Bottom lane, Doom's going to be dropped, but the boat was already out, so JT kind of already did his job. 33's caught in the cogs, the Doom's dead. Xnova somehow threading the needle there, didn't manage to get a connection with the hook shot. I mean, he will die. With the presence of Mickey, Baboka also gets cleaned up, so Mickey gets involved in the action, helps them clean up a second kill, and now they're going to look to see if they can maybe tackle Monet. Monet's a bit harder of a beast to take down. Going to have Skeleton Wall back in a second, but with the 4 of them, they'll have this, no problem. Nisha able to swing across, set up for Mickey to get the double. A big fight there for Liquid. That's going to put a lot of money on their carry.
Yeah, I mean, and there's the opposite of what we wanted to happen in the mid lane. They were near tier 1 towers, so when they got gone on, their whole team got to show up. And things changed once Mickey showed up there with that Eclipse. Look at that damage, 2,400 damage dealt with that combo. Big deal in that engagement. And the fact that 3-3 was able to tank a bunch of damage prior to that just gives them a great setup. And now top net worth is the Luna. So that's spooky for G2.iG. Clinks has been having a really good game, but he's moderately behind the Luna now, and it might just keep being like this.
Yeah, dream fight for Mickey to turn up to. Played that perfectly. And Nisha he's going to be going for the Sanj Kaya, so looking to stat up here with his next stage of the build. It's
a little goofy because he doesn't really have that much magic damage yet, so the spell amp is like kind of weak, but the low disable duration could be useful. And if you go like BKB Mage Slayer, that always feels bad, right? Because you're not taking that much magic damage anyways, so to like protect yourself a second way against magic damage just feels kind of goofy. But he doesn't really need damage that badly right now. Like, I'm sure third item he'll think about damage a little bit more seriously, but I think the Sanj Kaya sounds alright. Not maybe ideal, but it sounds fine for what he's trying to accomplish, and that's front lane.
See what the next move is going to be from G2.iG after a bit of a rough attempt to get the fight going around that tier 1 bottom. As Liquid able to shake them up successfully. And Liquid, they're going to look to go again. Smoke up from Mickey, Boxy, and Insania. Nisha is going to start teasing around with Mono down here. Remnant at the ready. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome. Baboka and the rest of the squad heading over. And whilst he's sort of focusing attention or bringing attention to him down bottom, Liquid, the rest of the team, sweeping in from the top side. Still hard for them to approach around the mid lane, though, as they have yet to be able to take this tier 1 tower that does still stand for G2.iG. Not able to get any setup. Just getting the deep ward down there over on the Radiant Triangle cliff.
They're just very safely counter-pushing the mid lane. I do like that the supports dropped a deep ward, at least, while they did this rotation. So even though no gank happened, they still are going to have something to profit from it. And in fact, the ward might even spot the Zeus now, which is kind of the person they were aiming for before. But instead, it's looking like a position of defense here for Liquid for a moment.
On the high ground here, G2.iG, see if they can take advantage of the smoke, but not difficult. They'll use the Thunder God's Wrath to scout things out. They'll go for the quick and easy setup onto Boxy. I say that though, it's a good bushwhack. Let's stop him from getting caught in the immediate combo. 33 again, trying to do his best with the Hurricane to bail his teammates out, but it won't save him. Boxy still goes down. Quite a bit used there though for G2.iG, and it does only get them the hoodwink.
Good timing on the Torrent Storm there. But between the ulti on the Hoodwink and the Tornado, he almost gets out, but all this extra catch with the Clockwork ends up being enough. He did not. Surprising. But he's just going to push creep waves. He's got a Sange now, so his survivability is really high, as is his regen. And he's just going to go take all the dangerous farm on the map. Put a Remnant down, go push out those side lanes. That should give them access to enough net worth to remain competitive.
Smoke time for Liquid. Mickey ready to get involved again with the BKB Manta. See if Boxy can get the setup. Pay off. And this is indeed a very nice kill to find. They'll go straight in. Mickey, no hesitation on dropping down the Eclipse. It's a big kill. They get themselves the Zeus.
Very nicely done. Finally finding a moment to do it, and they're going to get a tower out of it as well. This is so good for them. BKB's up on Mickey here, so he's not that worried about them fighting him. Just gonna pop it here just to be cautious. Good bushwhack again from Boxy, making sure that JT can't get in range for the X mark. Some good moves from Liquid as they're starting to take back control of this game. And we'll now finally be able to finish off the tier 1 in the mid, so more options are going to be open now for their movements. G2.iG though, they're going to try and strike back immediately. Go for the smoke, and we'll have Zeus up in 10 seconds and nothing to say. We'll have the Thunder God's Wrath ready to go on his respawn. I'll see who they can grab here. JT. I also know that Mickey's BKB is going to be on cooldown. Nisha, a bit of a slippery one with the Remnants. He's got the triple hat strat right now. The Gossamer's Cape, the Eternal Shroud, and the Veil. A lot of hats. How come hats are always defensive items, Owen? What's up with that?
Wait, how many hats are there in the game?
There's got to be a lot at this point. I mean, look at it. He's got 3 right now. Was he layer? He's got crazy layering right now.
I mean, what else can you have? You could rebuy another Helm of Iron Will. That's another one.
That's true. You could buy another Helm of Iron Will. The cloak itself, if you want to.
Does a Glimmer Cape have a hood component? It does. It's got a hood to it, right? The Glimmer Cape.
I think it does. Yeah.
That's another one.
There's a lot of hats.
Or is it just a cape?
Oh,
no, I mean, is it cape that goes over? It doesn't go over your head.
A shawl or something. Unless you have a very small head. Voodoo Mask would arguably count.
Oh, true. That's a bit of headgear. Yeah.
Helm of the Dominator. Helm of the Overlord. Yep. There's a lot of hats.
There's a lot, yeah. Yeah, well, they do like their hats. Monet. Been caught here before. He's going to get caught here again. He's going to be able to make the jump on him, and they're actually able to kill him off. They put down another sentry to be careful, but they still actually had the sentry from earlier when they caught him down here. A bit of a rough spot to be found in. See them try and turn as they catch Insania in the combo. Chances
got a hat.
Tanky though.
He's got his hat.
He's perfectly fine. Yeah, Insania. He's not dying at all. They just take out Baboka. Liquid, not easy for G2.iG to fight into right now. I mean, Xnova as well could be in trouble. He's hiding in the trees. Let's see. Oh, there's the slight. Nisha. He scouts out the area with the sleight of fist, makes the connection. They know where he's at. They'll get themselves another kill here. Liquid. I mean, JT, he's trying to push out this, but you see Insania already in position. He's got the setup with the slow. Mickey's stepping forward. I mean, if they get this as well, it's going to be huge for Liquid. They'll drop the Eclipse. JT, he's in with the Jukes. Have they got anywhere else to catch him? They get the Lucent Beam. There's the chains. Nisha, he's got the catch. He's got the follow-up. They're in onto JT. Liquid really destroying G2.iG now in these little fights where G2.iG just kind of getting caught one by one.
They broke this game open completely with two little things. The Klinx doesn't have a defensive item yet. He went Gleipnir instead because he wanted to have kill potential and catch against the Ember Spirit, I think. But the reality is, like, they're just not going to kill Ember Spirit, really. And putting all this effort into killing him would be hard. He's way too tanky with status resistance, and he can get out with his ultimate. And then on the other side, they think, oh, easy kill against Enchantress. Enchantress had Eternal Shroud and a Wraith Band. You rush the darn item, and with his heal at level 4, he's really hard to kill because they still, like, even with Klinx, they still have a lot of magic damage. With Klinx not going like a Deso build or whatever, he's not even a solution against the Enchantress, really. So it just feels like they put themselves into an opportunity where they thought that, oh yeah, we're going to get this quick killing back. Nah, it's the opposite. They lose their carry. They get ran down as well. So Liquid now hitting a really good stride.
Yeah, let's see what they can do with this momentum. Yeah, Nisha definitely making a case for the Ember Spirit. 3-0-3. It's been very good so far. I said I'm only impressed here. It's doing it on this hero that teams have just straight up been ignoring through recent tournaments.
I mean, if with your last pick of the draft, if there's a lot of good stuff has been banned, sometimes you got to pick weird things. And in this case, it was great for Liquid. In fact, he's made up for it. He's just went the Flame Guard talents. That's how he's farming. He's just using his ability. Don't need items. Push the scary lanes, keep the pressure on the... I mean, this bot tier 2 tower is almost dead here. Just from pushing out that bot lane.
He's going to be going for the Aghanims next. I mean, already he's been jumping around the fights so fast, and when he's got that out, it's going to be even harder for them to have a hold on him. Usually been able to access the squishier kills. G2.iG, they tried for a bit of a smoke, but doesn't look like they're really intent on fighting. Roshan looks to be the target here for Liquid as they'll set up around the pit. Yeah, G2.iG, they're not going to be anywhere close to doing anything about this. So Liquid, when you get this Roshan, get this Aegis, and with this, they should be able to really go for some of these tier 2s, maybe even more now, with the lead that they've got and the push that they can get going around Mickey's Luna.
Yep, his Phylactery's done. Getting towards Conda, not too expensive, another 2,600 gold. And that's where Luna just starts feeling super scary, for good reason. I mean, he's got 100 more last hits than the next closest on the IG side. So his net worth is really high. Zeus is the only one that's close. And as long as they can deal with those Zeus illusions, the counter push is not going to be the most fantastic. They do get a kill on the ball lane.
Not what you expected?
Stepping out onto the map's pretty careful now. Pretty scary for G2.iG. Liquid. Mickey very close to getting that counter online. And then at that point, the damage is going to be very explosive on this Luna. And so many ways that Liquid can frontline around him. 33 and Nisha, they're ready to sort of just go straight in at the front of the fight. And Mickey, he'll have that follow-up damage to clean up each and every time. So G2.iG, they've got to somehow break down this 5-man push potential from Liquid before it occurs. Otherwise, Liquid will take their base pretty easily.
They're just so confident right now at this point. Just playing all over the map. Look what Boboka's doing. He's setting up for a Tormentor steal. It's the best thing he can do in the meantime.
I'm not quite sure what time they took it, so I don't know when we're going to see this coming off. I mean, I imagine they did it around the 20s mark pretty early on. Now, either way, definitely not a place that you want to be going if you're Liquid. And yeah, Boboka should be able to get enough mindset down to secure this when it respawns.
In terms of other objectives, though, Liquid's taken tier 2 towers. But, I mean, realistically, IG knows that they're probably not going to be able to fight for a bit. They're going to go Daedalus on Clinkz next to give him a huge amount of damage. That's going to make a big difference in terms of giving them kill potential. But still no magic immunity, really, for a lot of the Radiant heroes. They've got 0 BKBs on their team, so kind of a spooky fight.
Super tough for G2.iG to get stuck into a fight. So to continue to hope Mono gets the space to finish his items. Rest of them holding the base. And BeBoka just getting what he can out of the map. Seeing if he can make his way towards that Hex in time for the next fight.
It would be good. Gives them the kill potential they need. You know, disable Luna before she BKBs. Or catch Ember Spirit.
Because right now they don't have the lockdown for Nisha. Nisha's perfectly fine each and every time.
Just way too hard to kill. Cloak of Flames now too. So just survivability, tons of push. He hasn't died a single time. He's 3-0 on 3. Really just the picture perfect Ember Spirit game for what they wanted to do.
Swinging over towards the bottom. And Monet, he's been caught around here a couple of times. Oh, he's going to quickly turn and look towards Boxy. Boxy's actually able to live, though. He keeps on the edge of the tree line. Monet can't turn and finish him, and Monet ends up going down once more.
Huge
Liquid,
catch there.
they're not letting Monet push out on this bottom lane whatsoever. 3 or so times now that they've shut him down when he's tried to farm in this pretty dangerous, evidently dangerous part of the map.
Alright, Boxy killed one mine accidentally. Almost died. Is that going to stop the Tormentor?
Does that ruin it? I think it might.
I don't know, actually.
I reckon you need all of them to do it. I think it's not going to be enough damage. We'll see on the respawn.
Keep my eyes locked over there. I could see it really messing. That'd be huge. I mean, he spent minutes over there doing that.
Yeah.
It's like a 14-second cooldown on every mine, and he planted, what, 7 of them? He was there a while, not farming, you know, prepping for this. But maybe he still kills it. I don't know.
I mean, he did manage to get his item, though. You know, BeBoka's got the Hex.
Okay.
So maybe between, like, the Hex and the Bloodthorn from Zeus, if they drop those down onto Nisha, maybe they got a chance of killing him. It's not going to be easy, though.
They've also got Ceremonial Robe as well, so 10% more disable from these 2 items.
True. Yeah. You need every little bit, but it could be hard. He's now got the BKB done as well, Nisha, so if he's ready to pop that first, not a whole lot they can do. They've smoked up G2.iG. They're trying to come in with a wraparound. Mickey, items continue to fly out. He's got his full Satanic on top of this Kanda. So he's very much ready to end the game on Luna. They take a bad fight here, G2.iG. It could be pretty devastating.
They spot those Zeus illusions. I don't think they did. IG does manage to grab the Amplify damage rune, at least for Zeus. That part's decent. But I feel like this position just favors Liquid. They've got creep waves top. They want to push as 5. They just don't know. All right, they know exactly where they are. They drew on the map. They're like, we know where these guys are. All right, it blew up and it did not die. The Tormentor lived.
Yeah. I think it needed them all.
I don't even know if it would have died with one more mine.
I mean, I don't know, yeah. I mean, I've got to imagine surely it would, because otherwise why would BeBoka spend his time doing that?
And
like, you know, these guys are pro players, you know. If he's going to go for some sort of tech like that, he knows what's up. But I do agree, it did look like it might not have. Either way, Liquid. Definitely very happy right now with the lead that they have. 11k advantage. Aegis is gone. See if they want to try and push without him. With the BKB Satanic on Mickey, he is very, very strong. See if they do want to take things slow, though, and wait out his next item. Breaking a high ground, never easy, even if you do have the right heroes for it.
They just need to find a catch, I think. It's that simple. I mean, Insania is going to be an excellent frontliner here. They got Enchanted Quivers on almost all of their heroes, actually.
Insania gonna step up. He's gonna get caught by the combo. He's gone. Nisha jumps straight over towards the backline. He's in on top of Monet with the Remnant, puts the BKB, he's just on top of the Clinks. Monet, he can't do anything about this. Nisha takes him out. I mean, just completely helpless there in the middle of the fight, Monet. He cannot deal with this Ember just flying straight over towards him.
Yeah, way too much. 3-3 tries to save his Enchantress, who was the face checker. I mean, it makes sense. The only mistake he made is he maybe should have pressed his heal before he went up, but he didn't really know they were going to be there, and he ate all the damage. Ultimately good. Killing Clinks is going to be worth it. That's Monet's 6th death now. He's 0-6-8 as the Clinks. Not the KDA you want to see on your carries, but he just hasn't really found the opportunities to get kills. He's just been kind of farming a lot, and sometimes dying.
Yeah, and even with that, it feels like he's been working on his Daedalus for quite some time. And slowed down massively. The gap now between him and Mickey, about 10k. Mickey steaming ahead.
Now, Odie is a carry player that likes to buy weird items sometimes. What do you think about this Blink Dagger on Luna?
I mean, it's fine, right? You want to get the Swift Blink. And we've seen already like how effective just getting in on top of the Clinks is. So, you know, Mickey sort of looked at the way Nisha's playing, and he's like, you know what, I want to do that as well. He just wants to just, you know, sort of yeet himself into the middle of the fight and cause chaos for the Clinks.
It kind of makes sense with the Shard as well, right? Because a lot of the times lately, it's like, okay, you get damage protection from it, but what you want to do is damage and damage protection. So if he can just get in there with the Clips and the glaive spinning on top of the Clinks, like, that guy's going to explode.
Yeah, like. This is just such a hard game for Monet now, with how far behind he is. And in terms of, I mean, the thing is as well, I've been talking to me about the carry builds. What do you think about the support builds this game, Kev, on G2.iG? Because these supports, you know, they're building for themselves, right?
Yeah.
They're not building to save.
I mean, Xnova had a decent early game, I think, and then he goes for Ag Scepter, which maybe is kind of mediocre. I don't really think the Ags is really that amazing. Maybe a Force Staff or something could help his allies. Maybe a Glimmer Cape or something. I guess Glimmer's not very good to protect the Clinks if he gets gone on. But the Ags for Vision, I think, is slightly unnecessary. I mean, it's good for moments like these to like push out lanes and stuff like that, but you got Zeus ulti to start fights anyways. So, I don't know. They're a little weird. The mech on Baboka is super normal. I think the Scythe was great on techies. You needed that to try to get
disabled. The Scythe's solid, yeah. I guess it was more sort of like the Ags rush on Xnova, yeah, that was kind of different, I feel, from... You know, you don't see clocks doing that necessarily every game.
Yeah,
not as the first time.
I mean, the AoE battery assault can be quite nice if they have like illusion heroes and stuff like that, but it's not a lot of clock items change every single game. Feels like there's a lot of variety in that hero.
They want to fight here. Well, 33 jumps in. He's going to get caught by the Hex. With the X-Smart hookshot, they're going to drop everything in on towards 33, and it will work. They'll take 33 out, but look for the backlines. And Mickey and Nisha with the wraparound. They're ready to clean up. Triple kill for Mickey. Bouncing away, or at least trying to bounce away JT, but he's not able to do so. Mickey gets him anyway. Ultra kill for Mickey. I mean, at this point, it's just a bit of a what can you do kind of situation, it feels like, from G2.iG. They're so far behind. Yeah. And these cores, Mickey is about to hit 30k net worth here, 37 minutes in. I mean, just completely on fire. And now they're ready to take the base. They have got buybacks on G2.iG, but it's just going to be so hard to really slow down the power of Liquid here when they've got this 23k lead. And yeah, Mickey only died the once this game, and yeah, Nisha, they just haven't been able to get him at all. 409.
Liquid just keeps playing the same team fight. They run one of their two super tanky people in the front. That person gets exploded by eating all the damage. And it was impressive that he died, by all means. But then they're like, okay, now we have to deal with Ember Spirit and Luna jumping on our backline when none of our heroes have Black King bars. So it's like the fight's just over at that point. A little bit too tough for him, but... that replay. Just so much damage on the backline.
Now Mickey able to get easily in position. And Jay just continues to be able to pound out these items. He's got the Swift Blink, 2,000 gold on top of it as well. Level 25, nearly 26.
I want to point out one other choice that 3-3 made this game. His 10 talent, he went for Devour grants 15% magic resistance. You do not see this talent very often. It is actually quite rare for pro players to get it. But he looked at the enemy squad and he's like, there's a Zeus, there's a Techies. Like, magic resistance is so good against those heroes. Techies amplifies the magic damage that everybody in his team does. So, like, you want to reduce that as much as possible. So every stack of Devour that he has active, he's getting an extra, 15% magic resistance. So it takes a lot of damage to kill this hero, which makes it more miraculous that they got him in the last fight, honestly. Instant scan there by G2.iG, just trying to track where they're moving after the Roche. And they know that they're going to be going bottom, so this is their choice. What do they do in their time before Liquid tries to go high ground bottom?
Let's have a look. Yeah, what about this Hoodwink build? Do you like this? Gleipnir into Satanic.
Why? Why is it?
I mean, why you want to be tanky, right? You want to. I mean, you pop out this acorn shot, you're getting some pretty crazy heals.
You probably do. I've never tried this before, believe it or not. I've never thought of the old Satanic acorn shot, but it's a cool way to get survivability. It also gives him a dispel, obviously, so he can use it to remove hitting, for example. So. Probably something like that is what he's thinking. Mix of the Dispel and the I can go from 0 to full just by acorn shotting. So kind of weird, but cool.
Now with the Aegis and Cheese once again here, Liquid should be able to set up to try and break the base. The high ground defense goes for G2.iG. It's not really been any other major items that have come out since sort of the Hex we saw from Baboka last fight. I don't really have anything else that's changed. It's still hard to sort of see how they can really set things up from the high ground.
They just revealed that they have a ward on the cliff there. Supports Mad.
I do, yeah, going for that little grab on the Creeper Insane. Yep. Well, I guess it felt that it was worth it. It was just hungry. You have to go for it, Monet.
And he's like, we got to kill their vision while losing our ward in the process. Very important team.
All right, here's the push. Mika straight in. He's got very little to fear right now on this Luna. An easy Rax top. G2.iG not even going to be able to do anything about that one. Maybe the same case for some of the other sets as well if they want to go again. I'll bring the mid lane in. Insane it with the Sproink. Nisha, he was considering it there. And out deep Remnant, I mean, he knows that he's also pretty untouchable. Push coming in again. Same time out on the map. They've found Monet. I mean, Monet was trying to get some space. But just nothing to be done. Liquid just completely on top of them this game. Jason trying with the D push. Still, that push will continue to come in from Liquid. Connect with the torrent, but Monet down for 60 seconds. It's just a large amount of any sort of damage that it can offer up. Trying to mess around with him. The hex onto Mickey. The hook shot as well. They'll actually be able to burst through him the once. He didn't go for round 2. He's now also got a completed butterfly that he's getting in.
Oh, he's gone in.
Ooh, he's gone in aggressively. He feels strong with the BKB. I mean, he's not going to get a kill out of this. Okay, maybe they'll get the support. X Nova, he will die. Monet, the buyback has been forced out. We're going to see if they get second time here. I mean, Jason's got the pushback with the tidal wave. Look at the Hexen onto Mickey. Baboka, he's in with the jump forward. Mickey's getting pretty low here. X Nova's coming in from the side. He's on top of Mickey, but Mickey's able to stand his ground. Kill off X Nova. And that's them out without buybacks. GG is called. Liquid will manage to close up this game. There really is nothing to be done there from G2.iG in that last fight. Liquid just too far ahead. They played this very well. And yeah, to my surprise and my joy, we get to see a hero win.
Once it's after 6, it's a lot harder. You're going to need probably X marks the spot and like some perfectly layered disables. But pre-6, they absolutely can kill him, and they should. Don't let him get this like tanky frontliner. Don't let him get away with it like he did last game. And the other bright side is that the Mage Slayer build is not the item for him this game, probably. I'm curious to see what items he gets, and maybe the game will be less straightforward.
Let's see. Nisha, fantastic game one. We'll see if we can continue it here into game two. Set up here with the smoke. I mean, both teams, I think, would be quite happy to go for a bit of a first blood attempt. Of course, they'll have a very nice sort of setup as well around the mid. If Nisha gets some points in the chains early on for those arrows flying in from Insania. Outside of that, the lane could be a bit tricky. That static link in mind from Nothing to Say.
At the least, it'll give him like a nice last hitting advantage for the 12 seconds that it's up. But again, the downtime is massive on the skill. You used to be able to just abuse this to win almost any 1v1, but now it's like a little bit of a window. It's more of like a harassment tool. You use it to deal a bunch of damage in 10 seconds, and then maybe you get 2 or 3 last hits with it.
Oh, Stania off the mark with the arrow. Now it's going to be 33 going down here. First blood for Monet. Not quite connecting all the spells there on Liquid, and taking a fight that they were heavily outnumbered in. G2.iG able to come out on top of that one. 2 for 2 on the bounties. But yeah, first blood for Monet, so a strong start here for the CK. I mean, CK as a hero, how do you sort of consider this hero right now in the carry? Is this when is it a good CK game?
CK is kind of countered by AoEs. Usually you deal with his illusions. Basically, it's more, I look at him more a little bit about his strengths. He's very good at doing single target burst damage. So what you want to do is have a CK in a game where you can kill a high value hero in like a 2-second window where your team disables him. So in moments like that, CK feels good. So against a Weaver, I'm pretty happy. I feel like CK is a good carry against Weaver, because if Weaver dies, Weaver takes a huge amount of burst damage in 2 seconds, you can kill him, and it provides tons of value. So looks good here. But if you're playing against some like Luna or something like that as CK, you're just not going to burst her in 2 seconds. Her armor is pretty darn high, her HP is decent, and she has tools to survive her death. So I think this is a great CK game.
We'll see how well he does in the lane. Should be pretty solid. Of course, they had the switch up this time. G2.iG, they've got the techies up there up top. And Baboka this time taking the hoodwink down bottom to team up with JT. The sentry set up as well. So see if these two can put some pressure onto Mickey. Of course, once they've got the level 2, they'll have pretty good combo. I see Baboka straight away trying to go for Insania, but Insania also with the 2 does have the point in leap if he feels threatened. The torrent though, that's going to be perfectly done. Doesn't matter though, stick charges are there. Insania will be fine. Very good connection there from JT, nearly able to get the kill.
It's still a tough laning stage for Insania though, because they had that little fight at the bounty run. He ends up skilling Arrow over Starstorm, and that basically means that he can't ever trade good against Baboka's hoodwink, because he doesn't just get this free 100 magic damage nuke. He's instead using Arrow to kill neutrals while he lanes, which is a good way to do it, because it's going to accelerate his levels to help get him towards Starstorm, but also give him some gold on top of that. So even though he's not trading as good with Baboka, he's still going to accelerate his game a little bit, and ultimately that'll help Weaver a little bit. But Weaver's going to have a slightly hard time in this lane. The fact that he's got 14 last hits is going great for Liquid, so they're not really sacrificing too much as a result.
Mid lane though, mid lane's looking pretty rough here, Kev.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I don't know if this is what they expected. You know, obviously the way that this was picked with the Ember this game last pick, I think they've got to have known there's a high chance that they would have obviously just put the Razor mid against it. But this is not going to be an easy entry into the game for Nisha. 6-2 against the 16-10. It's going to be a very slow start for him this game.
Yeah, for sure. That's a tough one. I mean, jungling and farming as Ember is not that great. And you saw it last game for Nisha. He had a solid laning stage. He went the same last hits as Zeus. He transitioned out of farming, and he just got behind in net worth for a bit. And that's just because the hero just doesn't farm that fast without like a Maelstrom or something here. Oh, that was really cool. Did you see what Nisha did there?
Yeah, that's neat. That's neat.
Just the slight, if you guys didn't see it, he slights to the neutral camp that's farther away than the static link to break the static link early. Very cool play.
I mean, that's the thing. You sort of see that sort of play, and then you kind of wonder if maybe in Nisha's head when he goes into this matchup, he's kind of considering that will allow him to do well on the early levels. But the reality of it is, even if he's been doing that a couple of times, it just hasn't stopped Nothing to Say from just completely destroying him on these first few waves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's doubling up. He's got 10 more denies in him. He's got double the last hits just about. So, yeah, it's a great output for Razor so far, just winning that 1v1 matchup. Not really something we see super often because normally teams protect against this, but this is one of the things that made Ember Spirit a vulnerable hero at times. Was this, and in fact, he's going to pull the creep wave because he just realizes, like, I don't want to be here anymore. He tanked like 4 tower shots to do this. He's going to pull the creep wave to either his tower or a camp somewhere, and then he's going to kill these creeps. He just knows he can't lane against Razor.
I mean, yeah, nothing to say. He's ready to head across and play aggressively with Xnova. Boxy's going to go for the TP out. He will make it away. Not enough damage to be done. Yeah, Nisha having to get a bit of breathing room. But not for long, you know, nothing to say. He's ready to farm the lane up between the towers as well on this mid lane.
Oh, this is hard because Nisha wants to run towards the tower where his creeps are right now.
Oh, but he's missing a whole wave under it now.
Okay, he'll be fine. He's getting the experience.
Yeah, he's really just trying to do what he can to kind of rectify the situation mid. It's not easy for Ember now.
That's fine. Levels is the most important part because he's going to use levels to try to get kills later on. He did a lot of farming last game. It wasn't necessarily ganks in the early game, but maybe he'll get a little bit more active. He's still going the same skill build. He's 1-1-2 right now. He's holding his 5th skill point. See if he uses that to go for more damage. He could go like a slight build. No, he's going to still go Flame Bard. He's going to have to farm to catch up.
Yeah, 6 is going to be on the...
Net worth is, I was going to say, really high for CK at the moment. He's definitely leading the pack with that first blood that he got. And compared to Doom, he's doing moderately better too.
6-minute power in. Xnova's able to get the deny. I'm sure that won't be picked up by Nisha. But yeah, Nisha, he's hit the 6. So yeah, as you say, the levels are there. Now at the least, it's very hard to kill this Ember. You'll always be able to jump back to safety. Actually opting to stand his ground here, Nisha.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Okay. Oh yes, he's going back to base anyway.
He'll leverage his resources a bit better.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he did a lot of damage, nothing to say there. He got him to half HP, which is the important part, because he doesn't care about the damage he's taking, right? Because he's going to TP back to heal.
Top lane. Ooh. Get the arrow connection. TP's going to be coming in, though. Mone's pretty tanky. Mickey, he'll also rotate over. Nothing to say, TP's in. He's going to run down 33 on the Doom first. It's going to be 33 with the stick charges, though. It doesn't matter. Static Link's there. And forward from Insania. They're trying to see if they can kill off Nothing to Say as well. They're going to be able to find him. Mickey, I mean, that was he got a lot more than I think he was planning for with that rotation, but in the good way. You know, he comes up to this top lane, kills off the carry. He ends up killing off the mid as well.
Yeah, amazing for him. That's going to keep him closer to net worth for the CK. I didn't think it was going to go so well, but once we see Mickey showing up, that's the Gaimin Gladiators rotation, basically bring everybody to the fight because they actually needed it. If Mickey doesn't come to that fight, I'm not 100% sure they can kill CK. And that could mean like a couple liquid heroes die instead. So very, very needed teamfight win for a team that was just, frankly, they were behind in, with the exception of the safe lane for Weaver, they were losing mid and off lane. So they needed that extra quill.
Nisha, he's going to be fine. But yeah, I mean, Nisha, he really is recovering very nicely. You know, considering how things were going for that sort of first 5 minutes of laning in the mid, the fact that he's only like 400 gold or so behind that and Nothing to Say, it's going to feel pretty good for him. You know, not as good as, of course, game 1 was on the Ember for Nisha, but this game with the difficulties that he's had, it's not looking too terrible.
He's really running at Xnova here. He's got the amplified damage rune. Sets up the arrow.
They're very dead techies, and he's out. I'm forcing some rotations as well, but Boca Nothing to Say. They're not going to be able to get anything in return. If we're getting away with these kills, and it could be the beginning of another impressive showing here from Nisha on his Ember.
Yeah, I mean, he played that perfectly. He didn't even use the rune. He's like, I don't need this to kill the Hoodwink. No problem at all. Runs him down easily. He's just going to be looking for arrow setups right now, I think. He keeps putting a remnant down when he wants to be aggressive. It's just so much easier for him to get kills with the Mirana in the game compared to previous match. They're looking for JT. Don't find him, though. And instead. Nisha's going to be stealing the stack here.
Yeah, he even stacked it again himself. So getting a lot of efficiency out of this. And not getting punished for it whatsoever.
Ooh, and he gets a neutral item. Beautiful.
See Mickey. He's going to try and start something onto JT. I mean, Nisha's in on the side. Gets the chains onto Baboka. The arrow comes in as well. Mickey swings across. And Nisha finishes off the job with a sleight of fist. He's getting away with it. He really is.
What dispelled him? Oh,
wait, what
the taser does a basic dispel.
Oh, yeah, what they explained, yeah. Top lane. 33 will get outnumbered to drop the Doom down onto Monet. Monet's not going to care too much. Again, Mickey, though, maybe see if he can capitalize on the fact that Monet's going to get a little low. Another tower, though, is difficult. The mid lane's actually where the focus is. As Nisha and Boxy, they're diving in. Looking to take out nothing to say. Nisha has to jump away at the final moments, but Boxy with the stolen plasma field will help finish off the kill. I mean, nothing to say for all the sort of the easy time he had in the 1v1 initially. He's not really been able to do a whole lot with the fact that he got that good start, that easy matchup to play the lane with. He's made that rotation top, ends up dying, and now getting caught in the mid lane. The team not able to back him up. That early momentum from the Razor is falling behind. You look at the state of the two mids now. Nisha, he's on exactly the same sort of stage now in terms of gold as this Razor.
Yeah, that's the tough part. There really weren't any ganks towards Ember Spirit pre-level 6 there. And then since they both hit 6, it's just been Ember participating in tons and tons of fights looking for kills. The Razor one looked a little hairy because they missed the arrow, but you know, with 3 heroes and enough damage, they can eventually kill him. So good game so far for Liquid. They're just pressuring the map way better.
Well, I mean, ooh, yeah, Nisha. If it gets the slight change, maybe they could have tried something with the arrow, but I'll hold back on it. Just look to continue to cut the wave and try and take this tier 1 tower, or at least put the pressure on and see if they can force reaction from G2.iG. Yeah.
And the speeds of Sunny at 1300 HP on the Agi treads. See if this gank can work. They're going to have to land X combo.
Oh, look at the Dustin tags. Okay. And he's going to get caught in the combo. Bushwhack as well. It'll do it. They will manage to kill him off. See Boxy with a stolen X getting the catch onto JT. And there won't be anything else to threaten him. G2.iG, they get the job done, though. They do get the Weaver.
That was a little hairy, though. I mean, if that disable ended, he's got a 20-stick wand that he can press, plus time-lapse. Maybe they could have turned things there, but really nice gank. Very needed. That was hard to do. That's level 1 X marks the spot. The cast range was only 550. He had to, like, run in dust with phase boots going just to catch that. So very, very important kill for them to have that, because that was the one here that just hadn't been touched all game on the Liquid side.
See what the move's going to be next. I mean, JT is the man with the plan here. He's got the setup that they need to go for these kills. And Monet is going to consider getting a bit of lockdown again. Wants to go for the armlet into the Orchid. Some sort of silence so they can threaten the Ember and the Weaver.
They're building one on Kunkka as well. They do not want to let the carries just be unkillable. And it's good against Ember. That's one downside to the Liquid draft, that both their mid and their safe lane is countered by the same item.
We'll see how much of a window they get, though, when they've sort of got those done and they can make plays with them. And, you know, Liquid themselves, if they're able to get something on their supports in terms of save potential, can make things difficult. And we're going to see Boxy. He wants to go straight for the Blink Rush this game on his Rubik. Make sure he can make the plays.
I'm into it, honestly. They need some other setup, probably. This is one of the downsides of not being a hoodwink, basically, is that your disable and catch as a Rubik just isn't nearly as good. So you will need a fast blink dagger to compensate for that, because somebody's got to set up the arrow, and it can't be just Ember Spirit every single fight. So they'll need it for sure.
But the Liquid's able to clean up.
Not bad.
What Nisha wants to do now that he's got that item pretty much done. I mean, nothing to say. Xnova setting up around the mid. Nisha maybe seeing if there's a way to get in here with this haste rune, but there's quite a fair few of them. Evoker as well will manage to stop Nisha from being able to bottle up the illusion runes. Still with those last seconds of haste, Nisha wants to go charging in, and further numbers turning up as JT's also around. Set up with the silence. That's an element of surprise indeed will catch and kill Nisha. JT turning up with the item reveal, and it will get the kill that evaded them the entirety of game one. This Ember Spirit can die this game.
Yep, and he's got magic resistance from the Mage Slayer, but that is just way too much magic damage, or way too much damage at this point in the game. Huge kill there by JT. Big impact now. He's level 10 with that pickup. Last game, he rushed Ags. He had it by 20 minutes. It was a really good timing, but this Orchid is going to put so much more pressure on the map because now Liquid doesn't just get to do pressure Nisha-like things, you know? They've got to worry about making mistakes and getting punished like this.
Obviously, pretty much straight away, Nisha queuing up the Yules after that encounter. Needs to get any sort of self-dispel online as soon as he can.
Yeah. Not a fun item to buy this early in the game as an Ember Spirit, because offensively, it's not really the best either. The best thing you can do is what Yules Razor as he's running down his teammate or something. It's not great, but yeah, he has to do it. It's that or Manta, and Manta's going to come way too late.
G2.iG, they feel pretty strong here, being able to set up with JT, having this Orchid and the X-Mark combo. Anybody shows their face down here, probably going to be going down. Insania, he'll be happy to take the fall for this, though. Even if he does end up going down, he's still got another leap, so he can definitely waste their time. And yeah, they won't bother chasing him, but that doesn't mean that the smoke is put to waste. Insania able to get the info required to ensure that the rest of his team stays safe.
Oh, he might get a courier accidentally.
Oh, he's
That's nice.
Ends up being the one that gets the bonus out of that after all. So he's taken down. They'll still lose the tower.
Yeah. But with their items, it just makes sense. There's like no way that Liquid can fight right now. I talked about the Orchid countering the Ember and the Weaver, but also counters the Mirana too, actually. It's a hero that relies on spells to be a very survivable support. So just a really good game position for G2.iG to pressure right now.
No, they want to get them all involved here, Monet. Ready to fight. It's not easy really for Liquid to try and fight back right now. Mickey needs time, needs to get his Gleipnir done before he's ready to turn up. As for Boxy, very close to his Blink Dagger goal, just about 400 away from that. 33 should have the Shivas for the next fight. I'll see again, just JT trying to see if he can get these catches. Mid lane tower is going to be taken. They're swinging over towards the bottom, but Mickey is playing careful. Shikuchi down and away. I still want to see if they can try and get a grab here, JT.
The perfect Kobold digs it up, kills the ward, it spots the rotation. Mickey lives, Insania lives.
I mean, JT's still kind of on track, but yeah, he's not outrunning this Weaver anytime soon. I mean, Monet, they know kind of the movement that Mickey's going to be making. I mean, Monet, he's not going to get the silence onto Mickey, though. As Mickey with that will be able to TP out. But it was a good effort there. You know, Monet definitely knew where Mickey was heading. Wasn't able to get the grab on him, though.
Yeah, that's a good read. Okay. Well, not quite getting the kills like they wanted to. Slightly similar to last game in that G2.iG has this like little early advantage that they're trying to pressure, but Liquid is dodging their moves a little bit. Makes it a little hard for them to play their game. Blink Dagger is up on Rubik as well, so it just feels to me like despite the Chaos Knight being moderately ahead, just feels like a decent position for Liquid. They're kind of getting what they want. The Yules should be flying out now for Nisha. What Liquid basically did as soon as that Orchid kill happened, Nisha and 3-3 were just double teaming Ancient stacks, basically. They gave up on their kill attempts because they're like, okay, we just don't have the opportunity now. And then they power farmed until the Shiva's finished and the Yules finished. And now Liquid just, again, can play aggressive. So I'm expecting to see them fight bottom here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're getting the smoke coming out from 33. And Boxy is 33 is just ready to just run in from the back of the fight, get in onto JT. Drop that Doom down before Kunkka can get the combo off. JT's out of the action. Let's see if they can push on for more. 33's in on top of Xnova. Xnova will put the mech. Nisha, Slider Fist comes in and he's ready to try and jump over towards Xnova with the Remnants. Another Remnant in. He's in on top of the techies. Double kill for Nisha. Nothing to say. He's got the static link, but they've still got to back off it. G2.iG, they're not in a position to fight. They're outnumbered now. They have to back off under the tier 1. Nothing to say.
That was fine. Marana, no leaps.
Nothing to say. Still a bit hesitant on committing for the kill, so Insania may just get the chance to walk this one off. Baboka looks for the bushwhack, won't find it. Only end up getting Boxy out of all of that and end up losing the two, JT and Xnova themselves.
Honestly, not bad. I mean, jumping on Kunko was a great move there. Get rid of the boat combo, the X combo, the Orchid, all of those annoying things that JT is providing. It's one of the downsides, I guess, of the Orchid Rush, that if he does get doomed, the Orchid becomes way less valuable compared to like just an Ags where you're just like, oh, the fight's starting? Launch the water. Open the cannons, you know?
Boxy, he's ended up in a bit of a position that was unlikely to ever really allow him to get back safely. As soon as G2.iG's back in the game, they get themselves over. Was taking him down once more. So kill-wise, 8-8, just a 1k lead right now for Liquid. A very, very close game too. All Greaves now on Insania, so also having a way to get that silence off him.
Very nice. Yeah, they're doing great itemizing against all these Orchids. They got one good kill with it. Oh, that might get Nisha.
Nicely done there. Well timed with the bushwhack, able to catch him as he came out of the Yules. Smooth stuff there from Baboka. Leaves no chance for Nisha to get away.
Very good kill. They needed that one because I felt like their Orchids just weren't paying off. Prior to that kill, they had just gotten the one on Nisha mid lane is what it felt like. So they needed that one for sure. Nicely done that they got to like trick him into the Yules there. And now with the Rod of Atos on Hoodwick, now they have another solution against Nisha for kill setups. But it'll be a game of execution basically between him reading the fights and protecting himself. He's going to go Sanj Kaya afterwards now on Ember, which will help protect him certainly. He can just tank the damage if he wants to.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Still, when this Razor, nothing to say as his BKB. G2.iG, they can definitely try and put the pressure up a bit more than they are ever really able to in the mid-game of the last game. After those last few rough fights in the first game of the series, they just couldn't really find the chance to push back. But nothing to say, should be in a pretty good point when he's got that done, especially if they can have Monet back them up in every single team fight. As with this BKB, Armlet, he's absolutely ready to do a bit of a clean-up job. They've got their eyes on Nisha. Also at the Yules, Baboka, has he got the timing again? This time he's a little too early, so Nisha's able to jump out. Nisha's going to be fine. Monet will put the BKB down, turn towards 33, but Insania and Boxy are here with the backup. And Boxy is able to get the torrent out on towards JT. JT's dead. G2.iG the first team to lose a hero in this team fight. And then maybe going to lose more. The Remnants are ready, as they've got the control as well from Mickey as he lays down the glide there onto the two of them. Nothing to say, taken out. Xnova completely surrounded. They've lost 3. I mean, they may lose 5 here. Baboka and Xnova, they've got nothing left in the tank. It's a team wipe. Liquid, they take everything, and they only lose Insania.
I'm so surprised. I thought that was going to go way, way better for G2.iG. Once the Torrent Storm and the boat went down without him getting doomed, I was like, oh, this fight's just over, I guess. But then, no, Doom survives, and they're like, okay, now we churn. Razor came in, he static linked the Marana. Marana instantly leaped. He got 2 damage from that. So they just like knew Razor was not going to have any good damage impact in the fight. And that's part of the hard thing for Razor this game. Like, who does he link, actually? Linking Weaver is usually not going to feel that good because he's going to run away. Ember's probably got a Remnant down, so you can't link him. So it's basically like, do I steal damage from a Doom? Or do I link a support? And he can't. And he's learned his lesson. He's not linking Marana again, that's for sure.
I mean, that whole situation has made things very difficult now for G2.iG. We had sort of the fight in that last game where things really began to go downhill. This game, getting team wiped like that, it's even rougher than sort of the first fight that they lost in the mid-game last time. Let's see G2.iG, though, not to be sort of put off from looking for the aggressive players. As they're back in action, they'll look to smoke. See if they can do it this time. Last few efforts haven't been too successful. That last sort of move going downhill as soon as they didn't manage to time the catch perfectly on to Nisha as he came out of the Yules.
Radiant are scared.
And now Mickey with the BKB. He is very, very difficult to take out. It's going to get to the point where these Orchids, the impact is going to fall off a bit. And so the answers that Liquid have been able to build against it. Mickey just instantly put the BKB and he's ready to fight back on us. He's going to look over towards Baboka and JT, and they've got the backup of Boxy. They're in, they take out Baboka. JT caught under the tier 2 tower. He's dead as well. This is not going to get easy for them. And at 33, he's also got his eyes on nothing to say. He's been able to set up onto the Razor. See if anyone can join him. Boxy trying to jump across. He's able to offer up a Fade Bolt. I mean, yeah, 33 staying in on top of nothing to say. It's another one for Liquid. 3 kills just like that. I think G2.iG, I mean, in terms of their play today in this series, I feel like they're just having a bit of a rough one, Kev.
They're close. They're definitely close to like nailing things amazingly. The Orchid timing gave them a really good position, but Liquid is just so good at team fighting and staying a step ahead of their opponents. And I think that's one place where 3-3 really shines, is that like he knows that that fight is over. He's looking for the next guys that are like sort of close, but not super close. So getting that extra +1 kill on the Razor like turns it from like, oh, that was unfortunate that we lost 2 heroes, into like a catastrophic moment of the game where they pick off 3 heroes and push out the map and set up for Roshan. Like these kinds of advantages are so difficult to come back from.
They're looking very, very good today, Liquid. And also to the point where, you know, 2 games now, Nisha's coming with the Ember Spirit. It makes you wonder if there may be some drafts in the past that they could have tried the Nisha Ember, because bringing it out here today, no question about it. I'm sure, even though the draft, as you say, did lend it to being a good Ember game, I'm sure there's going to be opportunities in the future where Liquid, they're going to find the chance to drop the Ember Spirit last pick again, because these 2 games, it's looked pretty brilliant. And this game in particular, being a game in which the laning setup was not easy for Nisha. He did fall behind in the first 5 minutes, but just he was still able to completely recover. And outside of 2 deaths, he's been a real nightmare in these fights. And now that he's got these items, you know, he has to use his ever get this. He's going to look to get Shivas on top of the Kaya Stange next. It's going to be so hard to deal with this Ember. Mono in the mid, he has to BKB TP out. We're just having to play runaway right now. G2.iG, they do not want to fight Liquid head on. Sure, they're able to take out the Rubik, take out Boxy, but Liquid, they're not afraid. They're ready to fight with just the 4 of them.
Yeah, that was just an easy pick off on the Rubik. He thought he was safe by the tier 2. Boboko may get punished. Yep. Arrow lands.
Look at you.
Liquid. Massive on their 3 cores for G2.iG. A lot of weight on the shoulders of Mone's CK.
Dire are scanning.
JT and nothing to say, falling behind on the Razor and the Kunkka.
Radiant are scanning.
Man, he's feeling confident. He even goes Nemesis Curse here on the Ember. Kind of a cool neutral item on Ember, really, because like you take turns slashing one guy, so it's like it's almost like AoE damage amp. Kind of cool.
A set up on another to say. He has to BKB, get out of there. A lot of BKBs having to be used defensively on G2.iG. Not really finding the opportunities to fight around these BKB timings. Just having a run.
Dire's middle
It's Liquid.
They got here fast.
Mickey's going to head up into this. Caught him in the stun. The combo's there. That's the Aegis gone. See if they can go for round 2. Boxy jumps into the stolen plasma field. Mickey, he's got the lightning set up. The BKB has to be popped by Mono, but he's been caught by the Doom 33, trying to stay in on top of him. Mono will get up to the high ground. It looks like it's not going to matter. He's still going to die. Mono ticks out. They get the 2 kills. And again, just at this point, Liquid, they just seem to have all the tools to take down G2.iG in any team fight, regardless how it presents itself. Though we saw G2.iG trying with the high ground setup. Liquid, they were more than happy to walk into that potential trap, as it ends up just once again going perfectly for them.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see how they've been using their heroes' lives, basically, their Aegises and stuff. Oh, no, they're by mid.
So they can get 33. And we'll manage to take him out in the combo. Nisha, he's going to be happy to chase them down. See a TP out from JT, put to a stop by the Yule Scepter. Nisha has the catch. And it's just when G2.iG find a little bit of something, it really doesn't matter, as they end up losing the trade once again. 21-12 now, 13k lead for Liquid. Mickey taking the top spot now in his Weaver.
Yeah, they're playing great. I mean, Liquid is so good at, I think they have a really low average death or game time. They're just really good at setting tempo and moving things forward here. Boxy may be biting off more than he can. No, never mind, he's got that headband.
I mean, he's teasing around, but he's got the glimmer up. I mean, he's certainly been a nuisance. And he's out with the blink. Okay, Xnova gonna try and find him. I mean, can he continue this escape? Nah, he'll go down. I mean, they had to find him. I mean, Mono even put the Phantasm, you know, if they're not getting that kill, that feels incredibly rough. But they do, they do get the kill.
As I was saying before, Liquid is very good at, they have pretty low average game time. They're good at setting tempo and pushing things forward, and I really liked how they've been using their Aegises and their hero lives. They just run up cliffs into slightly disadvantageous fights on their tanky hero. Because they trade an Aegis, but they win a team fight. You know, a lot of teams see Aegis and they're like, well, we have to use this to go high ground. That doesn't necessarily feel as good, because most of the time that you're going high ground with an Aegis, you're like standing there by a tower, they kill you and they back up, and then it's hard to like force the fight afterwards. But if you're not on top of the enemy racks, forcing a fight after you lose your Aegis guy who high grounds it, it just feels okay. You're like, okay, well, we probably weren't going to get much value out of the Aegis anyways. That got us a kill on the CK +1, you know? So those kinds of things accelerate the team really well, and that, and on top of Liquid being really good at finding extra kills in these moments, just really helps solidify their lead.
They've got eyes on Nisha. They're going to try and get the initiation onto him. It's not super clean. Nisha, he's going to be. Ooh, has he got another remnant now? He'll get another one thrown now. He's able to jump away from the combo. He's going to get healed up as well by Insania with the Greaves. Nisha's fine. They just can't quite get everything to land it to be able to threaten this Ember Spirit. Nisha's still too slippery for them this game. Whoa, JT. Ooh, out in time. We're not quite able to get in and get him with the chains, but Xnova's not going to be as lucky. He does get caught. Another kill for Liquid.
Yeah, once again, 3-3 aiming for those backlines, looking for those extra kills, finds one. Nisha's survivability is still pretty high. Boboka being chased by 3-3. Yeah, there's like no way you catch the Hoodwink. He's just going to hide in trees. Unless you get him with the Shivas. He's got Blink in 2. All right, let's see if we can no-scope him. Oh!
I mean, he's going to get him with the Stun of the Doom. Now, whether he gets out of this one, that might be another thing. 33. He's got BKB actually up, isn't he? He's able to walk away. And is Boboka dead to this Doom damage?
I think so.
He's very dead. He's going to get the kill. He gets away with it, 33.
That's sick. So Mickey's going to spawn nothing to say. Okay. That wasn't going to happen.
The tier 3s. But I think Liquid at this point, they know they can get away with pretty much anything.
Yeah. I mean, if for some reason he doesn't press Manta and he gets AOD, yeah, he dies there. But why not pressure him a little bit? Force him out of the mid lane. Force him to go to a different lane. You get to pressure the tier 2 tower by kicking him out here. Really nicely done by Liquid. 16k gold advantage. Nisha opted for a Shiva's Guard, by the way, if you didn't catch that. He had that in that top fight. If he did not, he would have gotten shredded by the Razor or the CK. They actually do have quite a lot of minus armor, so smart of Nisha to identify his needs to have that defensive item. Once again, Mickey's pressuring the Razor. Oh my god, is he going to get him?
Oh, but the damage. Okay.
Wow. And this is partially because, oh, I mean, he's ahead in terms of net worth, obviously. He's like a full, all right, he's more than that. He's like 7k gold up on the Razor. Just identifying. He's like, he can't fight me.
I think they're just able to make multiple goes. You know, they're going on Xnova at the same time. Nisha was starting to tease around with Monet and JT on the high ground. I mean, Mickey, he's walking into the base. He's got the light mirror onto Monet. Monet will put the illusions here. But again, he's just having to do it to just escape, just to run. No fight to be had over the CK. JT is caught by the chains. He has got BKB if he needs to. Doesn't look like he's going to get pressured to use it. We'll just be able to walk away. Step back. Bush, it's in onto the tier 3 tower.
G2.iG, they've got to do something soon. JT, he has to put the BKB because the arrow was coming in. Gonna look to drop the combo onto Nisha, but 33 is just straight onto the base. Jumps in, drops a Doom down onto Baboka. Baboka is absolutely dead. And now they can just go back in and re-enter with the BKBs coming to an end. JT's gone. Monet and Xnova having a BKB and run. It really does feel like just everything's just all said and done here really in this game too. As Liquid having a beautiful series really to open into this tournament, this beginning of this group stage. I was expecting these games to be a whole lot closer than they were. This is, yes, a Liquid coming in with some top stuff so far, Kevin.
Yeah, and not too surprising in the sense that like they've got to be hungry right now. They've had kind of a bunch of mediocre tournament performances in a row here. Lift into Arrow now to put him at low HP before he gets the BKB under tower. He's gonna save it at least. This is an opportunity actually.
Or they got okay. Or a Liquid. That's a big death there. They've lost their carry. They've lost Mickey for 90 seconds.
Oh, that was so sick. He lifted himself. Oh, amazing. Oh, his blink was almost off cooldown there, so he needed to do that. If he took any damage, he just barely skirted the edge of the Razor nuke. Well, they lose Mickey, which does give them a moment to get back out on the map.
A little moment. It gives them a little moment. A minute. Let's see what they can do with this. Roshan is back up in 10 seconds. That's pretty crazy, actually. If they're able to get into Rosh and take this before Mickey's back in the game, maybe there's still hope here for G2.iG.
Yeah, it's a good power spike. Chaos Knight's got Heart and a Shard now, so his damage is jump.
Okay, they're going to try for more here. Going to get the catch on towards 33. 33's got the BKB up. Nisha jumps across with the Remnant, but Monet, he's tanky. With the BKB, but he's going to get caught by the Doom. So Monet will have to reset, step back out of the fight for now.
Didn't have armlet on. Nicely done by Monet.
Oh, Nisha! Oh, he's able to make the jump with the Sleight of Fist before the Bushwhack or the Blast-Off comes into play. 15 seconds until Mickey's back in the game. It looks like G2.iG, they're not going to be able to take advantage of the fact that Roshan was up. I mean, maybe they could still try and force it. There's still a tier 1, though. It's not hard for Mickey to get here. So G2.iG, they have to do this very quickly. If this Roshan doesn't die fast, Liquid's going to be able to contest this. Can they do it fast enough, Purge?
I mean, CK's a good hero for it, but it's not dying quick enough.
It's looking a bit rocky. And now here's Liquid ready to commit him for the fight. They jump forward into the trees, though. They're going to climb it, push back onto the two of them. The Torrent as well. It's a beautiful setup. They've been able to take down the Rubik. Mickey's able to get the BKB and the time-lapse off, though. We'll head over towards Monet. Monet bounces away here with the Ogre Seal Totem. And they've had to buy back on Boxy. G2.iG, I think they're maybe going to still hang around and see if they could continue to threaten this area. I mean, they don't want to give sort of the chance for Liquid to take Roche. As Liquid does spoke again.
Doom's up in 8 with BKBs, though. No BKB on Weaver, though. He's killable.
Nisha is looking to enter from the back line here with the Shiva's Guard. Jumps in, he's able to get the check.
Oh, no.
He jumps in, they're going to get the Doom drop down onto Monet. It's a beautiful entrance into the fight here from Liquid that's going to allow them to take Monet out. Mickey cleaning up the double and ready to clean up for more. G2.iG, that little bit of hope that they had, getting completely shattered there by that wraparound of that entrance in. Beautiful setup with the chains into the two-man stomp, and no hesitation for 33 to follow things up with a fantastic Doom. That will be the Roshan secured here for Liquid.
Yeah, just one of those moments where they just happen to be grouped up at the worst possible moment to set up that double stun you pointed out.
Yeah, just great entrance. 33 sees his target straight away, get the Doom down onto Monet. Monet just completely helpless at that point. Very quick moves, and they're going to continue to keep them coming as they're in onto the mid. Looking for JT. He's not got any BKB for 50 seconds. He's trying to walk it off. Nisha's going to have a slight chance to catch him one more. The Torrent Storm will be there as well as the Tidal Wave. JT is going to get found though by Boxy. Boxy in with the Telekinesis stun and the Fade Bolt. Zap takes him down. Baboka in the trees, surrounded by the three of them. And we'll be back up at least with 3 heroes in 10 seconds. So they may have one more fight in them, G2.iG. But it's going to be a pretty rough one. As Liquid, they're pushing in the lanes. They'll clean up the top set of racks. Take out the bottom as well here.
Yeah, good luck. Mickey's got Aegis BKB. I don't see them killing him twice. is really hard
What's the
here.
Phantasm, Mickey? Going straight into what was nothing to say. Just have to pop the time lapse. He's back to business, looking towards the barracks. Tree line, 33. He's gone in for Monet. Money's able to turn with the Phantasm. 33 up in the air for now. Now with the BKB and the Doom ready to drop back again down onto the CK. Monet has to escape back to the fountain, but there's no surviving this. He's out. And Mickey will fall, but he's got the Aegis. He's more than happy to come back for round 2. Don't come back up in 5-6. I mean, Liquid, they're sort of considering doing a bit of fountain diving here. They're feeling pretty comfortable with the state of this game. Of course, 33k lead. And they're ready to start teasing around close to the base. Maybe a bit too close for comfort for Boxy, though. Boxy's getting caught in the torrent. Jump forward over towards 33. And he's going to be fine, though, as they're just getting bullied, held in the base. GG is called. Liquid will take the series here 2-0 against G2.iG. And they look good doing it, Purge.